It started as a dream. Dozens applied, but only 10 were chosen. Every voice was powerful, but only one walked away as the winner. VoiceQuest Live is where voices become unforgettable. VoiceQuest Live!
All right, here we go. Speaker number 7, Braden Eads.
This is the most epic walk-up music ever in the entire history of mankind. Raise your hand for me if you were held back in preschool. Sweet, thank you. Raise your hand if you were held back in preschool twice. That was me. So when I was growing up, I'm 6'3", so I grew really fast, which means I was really, really uncoordinated. I was a middle school body in an elementary school environment. I was held back in preschool because I was socially undeveloped. So I was this huge kid. I had Coke bottle glasses that I used to get scabs from on my cheek because they were so big. And I had a really hard time making friends, and I grew really fast, so my clothes, I had pants that were like this. So imagine me. Do you want to be friends with me? That was me in elementary school. In fact, come with me to recess real quick. I would walk out in elementary school recess, and I literally had 0 friends. And think about that for a minute. So come with me to recess. This is my favorite activity. This is my coat. Put this on. It's cold outside, right? And I would walk out to recess, and I knew all the excuses. Oh, go find somebody else to make it even. Oh, we already have too many people. And so I would walk out into recess with this coat. Let's see if I can zip it up real quick. And I would take it like this. It's not going to work, actually. I'm too big. But instead, I had a big coat as a kid, but I'd pull it over my legs like this. Would you do this? And I'd pull my arms in, and I would play with ants. I didn't need friends. I just had ants right here. This is how I would play in recess. And as I grew older, my mom was very concerned. And so when I was 18, I found out she gave me Flintstone vitamins that later she told me were antidepressants. I was on antidepressants as a 4th grader because I didn't have any friends, and I was really sad. And something miraculous happened. When I was in 7th grade, I lived in Rock Rimmon down in Colorado Springs, and there was a rainstorm for 2 weeks straight, which meant our house was on a landslide, and we had to move, which means I had an opportunity to start over. So I moved from Rock Rimmon in Colorado Springs out of the school district into another one, went to a place called Challenger Middle School in 7th grade, and nobody knew who I was, and I could start fresh. Sitting on the floor in the gymnasium, a young man came over. His name was Logan Rogers. And as I was sitting there, he said, "Braden?" And I said, "Who are you?" He goes, "Oh, my name's Logan. My mom used to give your mom piano lessons, apparently. Do you mind if I sit?" I said, "Sure." And he sat down. He had the courage just to say hi to me. I called Logan Rogers today on the way to this event. He and I are still best friends today. The thing that changed my life in that moment was Logan Rogers was the cool kid. I learned how to speak cool. I learned social norms. I learned how to be, engaging in the way that I speak. And people treated me differently. And in that moment, because somebody had the courage to say hello, redefined the rest of my life forever. And I'm indebted to Logan Rogers forever. We still obviously hang out a lot. In 2017, the Surgeon General of the United States declared an epidemic. It is an epidemic of loneliness. Chronically lonely people experience the same health effects as smoking 11 cigarettes a day. 1 in 4 people are experiencing loneliness in this room. But it doesn't have to be that way. I firmly believe this is the reason I'm a public speaker. This is the reason I'm on the stage. I know this is a competition, but step outside the competition for a minute, because this is like a real thing. It's a real issue. And it doesn't have to be this way. I firmly believe that we are connected more than we've ever been in our whole lives, because we have the tools to do that. But we suck at connection. In my keynote, I have a lot that we go over. Today, I want to leave you with one tool that hopefully you can take away for today, just to practice being less lonely. In our interactions every single day, whether it's a person that we've known for a really long time or a complete stranger, we have an opportunity to connect. When I greet you and I say hi, I ask you a question. What's that question? How are you? And we say, fine, I'm fine. No. My challenge today is to never throw away the question, how are you? Use it as an opportunity to genuinely express how you are doing that day. For me, I actually prepare for this. I have lots of client calls every day, and in my back pocket, I already know how I'm going to respond to that question. Most of the time, it's about my 3-year-old who slapped me in the face this morning. But it's something somebody can identify with, and it's a real part of me in my life. So today, I challenge you to choose connection over convenience. Thank you.
Great job. Okay, I have to tell you this. My first husband, there's been a few, he was actually a guidance counselor at Challenger Middle School.
No way.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow.
Talk about connection. Okay. How did he connect, judges?
All right, so first of all, let me tell you what I can appreciate, right? Because the way that I dealt with being judged as a speaker was actually from Slam, where the audience had scorecards immediately, right? So like, forget us, right? When you said like step out the competition, like let's just talk for real, I can appreciate that we're connected, but we suck at connection. What I loved about your intonation, when you started, I could hear the little boy. Like you led with it, like even the mistakes and the awkwardness. And then it was a switch when you turned on, like, no, I do this for real. Let me tell you what I do. And let me tell you why it's important. And so, you're that, and then also not throwing away the how are you, right? Because we lie a lot, right? We get invited to lie, and the invitation for that. And you going over time, because you know you went over time, and we got to penalize you. But what we're walking away with that memorability and impact section over here, and the power of what you just said, I hope that someone in this room right now that's feeling lonely heard what you said. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're maybe the most likable guy I've ever seen in my life. Like you're like the guy on the ice cream truck in the 1950s. Just like, yes. I mean, like, anyway, I trust you immediately for some reason, and I love you. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Yeah, you had a very sincere and passionate message. It came through the whole way, and the impact was there. Love that. Your personal story that you open with, love that. I would have liked to have gotten to the problem a little faster, and you don't need the jacket. The visual actually of not having the jacket would have been more powerful if you just kind of showing us that, right? If there's a prop, it's really meant to do something that we couldn't visualize, that like is like, oh my God, and then this thing is here, look, and I was at the top of the mountain and the bird came down, this is a feather from the bird, whatever, right? Like, you get it. Anyway, you're clearly a pro, love the message, love you, let's hang out.
Thank you.
I was on the fence about the jacket. As you were doing it, I was thinking, you don't need the jacket. But actually, one of the things I liked about the jacket and I think it's a function of the microphone, is it was so awkward. And it just fit into the wholeness of the story. Now, whether you would get that normally, I don't know. But I liked it for tonight. I was not sure what the focus of the talk was. At first, I thought, oh, this is about the power of friends. Then I thought it was about loneliness. And then I thought, oh, connected versus connection. So I suspect this is part of a much, much larger talk, so you have a lot of latitude in that regard. But I think for this 6 minutes, I would have liked one very focused message.
Thank you. That's awesome.
I was so connected to what you were saying, I didn't write a single thing down. Right? So that's a really good sign. And to me, it says that you're speaking your truth. And for me, my favorite speakers are when they speak their truth or their lived experience. When you took me down to that moment where you're just playing with ants, I'm really a big one for physical acting out on stage when we're speaking. In that very moment, you kind of scooted through what was in your mind, what it was like to be in the coat. So whether the coat's there or not, take us into that mind, because you quickly jump to your mum and, and the Flintstones or whatever the vitamins were. Oh, but thank you for speaking your truth.
Thanks, everyone.
Great job. Thank you. Okay, here we go. It is speaker number 8, Monica Nielsen.
Nope. Me right here naked in my closet, looking at my choices or lack thereof, every single morning telling myself, no. And it's so funny because we love our mindset books and we listen to podcasts. I mean, who doesn't love a good podcast? And we're reminded by speakers that tell us that what we say when we talk to ourselves can literally change the course of our day or our business or our life. And yet every single stinking morning, most women are standing in their closet, in their most vulnerable space, saying no. And it usually goes like this. You get out of the shower, and you got your towel in your head. I mean, if it's hair wash day, right? And you go over to your closet, and you open up the doors, and you take a deep breath. And if you're anything like me, you're looking over here at all of these clothes for a life that you don't live anymore. And over here is all the stuff for a body you might not be happy with, which really kind of pisses me off because I eat protein like it is a part-time job. And yet, things still just don't fit right. But you've got things to do, so you start to dig. And I wish it was easy, but you're usually like stepping over a dog, and you're grabbing those pants, and they're a little bit tight, but you're gonna stand most of the day. And it's all right, because you're gonna have a salad at lunch, and it's good enough. It's totally fine. And then you're gonna dig a little more. There's a shirt, and you know it matches because it came in that subscription box together. But the color's a little janky, and you don't feel great in it, but you don't have time because you know what's happening. Mom, we don't have any bread for lunches. Okay, a problem to solve. You grab that top and you're like, you know what, it's just good enough. You're almost done. You got shoes. You start looking for shoes and you're like, were these the ones that hurt my feet? Damn. But then your husband or your partner yells, hey, do you know where my keys are? What, like it's my job to find your keys? Of course it's your job to find your keys because it's your job to kind of find everything. You know where it is. So there's another problem to be solved. You put your shoes on, you take 2 steps, crap, those were the ones that hurt my feet. You take them right back off and you grab the other pair and it's fine. It's just good enough. And the problem with good enough is that it doesn't allow a lot of margin for when things go sideways and you're gonna totally lose it. Like that guy who cuts you off in traffic, he absolutely did it on purpose. And that stuff that's going on at work that you're a little salty about, doesn't make for a really good day. And I can guarantee you that everybody in your house is going to drive you bananas when you get home. Now, if you've rebounded and none of that happened, it's because you have spent an extraordinary amount of energy to get yourself back up to 0. and we wonder why we're tired. It's not really about the clothes. In all my years of doing this stuff with closets, it is all about the 3 things that are killing us in our closets, and it's not the jeans that don't fit. It's simply symptoms that keep coming up over and over and over again. It's like that movie Groundhog Day, but we never actually make it to February 3rd. And so we sit and we look at it and we say, okay, what's really going on here? Oh, I get it. It's fear. It's the fear of, what if I lose 10 pounds? It's the fear of, what if I need to go back to work? It's fear of, what if I take everything out of my closet like that lady on the internet tells me to do, and then I don't have anything left? Or it's the frustration. It's the frustration of looking at a closet for a life that we don't even live anymore. It doesn't reflect who we are. And deep down inside, it's the frustration that I don't want to invest in who I am today, the body I have, or the life I live. I'd much rather be that girl over here. And it's killing us. Let's not forget my favorite, guilt. It's so fun. No, it's not. Because it's the guilt we've spent too much money. It's the guilt that we just are going to get rid of it, and it seems wasteful. And here's where I'm going to call you out. It is wasteful. So let me give you a mindset shift of how you're going to look at your closet differently today. What if I told you that there are ways that you can be mindfully donating that can make huge ripples of transformation in others? There are nonprofits here in our area that can get your donations in the hands of women that need it, like today, so that that dress that sits unworn can help another woman start a new life. That designer handbag that makes you feel guilty all the time can be like such a power piece for a woman going into a new job interview. And those jeans that you know are mocking you because you have not put them on in so long, they can be exactly what a struggling mom needs to feel like herself again. See, our closet is full of pieces that have energy. And when we finally release that, it does create some space, but it also creates possibilities. It creates possibilities to give and to serve. Our closet, our clothes are not meant to be museum pieces. They're meant to be lived and worn so that you can feel strong and powerful and feel seen. And when we get that, then it's not holding on, it's letting go and it's giving back. So I invite you to look at your closet a little bit differently today. It's not this pile of what you get to keep and what you get to get rid of. It's opportunities of blessings to be transferred to others in our community, people who need them right now. So don't miss out on the joy of giving just because of the baggage of a piece of cloth.
Good job. People do that. They hold on to clothes that don't fit. I don't know what you're talking about. Judges, you're on your own on this one. I have no.
Well done, Monica. You take a very relevant or an example of something so small that is so relevant to so many people and make it and extrapolate it out to something meaningful. Why do I have a uniform for work? I just have a colour and that's what I wear and that's what the shoes I put on. So I don't have to think about that part. So I love that message that you have. I would love to see if you could then turn that story into something that was more flexible across genders. I think that would be ring true for all genders. Mm-hmm. I just think that would be an extra layer to make it more relevant to the whole audience.
Thank you.
As a recovering interrupter of clothes finder for my lady while she's trying to figure out how to get dressed, I loved how you frame things. So this is again another structure thing. When you were saying no, I think it would have been interesting for you to have the pattern interrupts in the very beginning, set the scene. She's looking through the closet. No, mom, looking through the closet. Do you know my key? Then you've closed that frame, and then you can very quickly transfer to, is there, or do you feel like this? Do you know someone that feels like this? Okay. Do you have items in your closet that can help this woman or whomever make this decision faster to move on with their lives? Because that sounds like that was the essence of your message, the energy of a time long gone or a time gone or time to transfer or time to change or whatever that is. You're like, here, pass this on, right? Yeah. And so make that pattern interrupt. All of your, again, it was the imagery then the way you expressed it was all vivid. It's just a matter of where you place them and Lego brick them. Very powerful message. Thank you for sharing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that was actually, I wanted the intro tightened up. I love the humor of it, but I wanted to get to the meat. I was like, where is she taking us? I love that you name the things that we all feel. There's such rich relatability, have really good humor. Like, I was like, yes, she is in my closet with me. And I really love that. I love that you named fear and frustration and guilt, because those are real, and then gave us something that we could do something about.
Right, thank you.
Great work. You know, again, I just thought like your stage presence, your storytelling ability, super natural, very conversational. Loved your vocal variation. Like I was engaged the whole time. Beautiful, beautiful job. For me, like the only piece of feedback I'm going to have for you is that in the beginning, the problem was a little misleading because I thought maybe this was going to be about body positivity or like the problem of how we see ourselves. And it took a turn and I wasn't quite sure when that happened.
Right.
So you could rethink the beginning, but really it's about road mapping and reminding us where we are in the talk.
Okay.
So like you went from problem, okay, now here's where we're going next, right? This is what's happening. And that road mapping would have taken me all the way there. But again, beautiful job, great delivery, loved it.
Thank you.